reputation among some but it turned out he had a passion for military prowess and a string of victories over even Craterus, the best Macedonian generals. So Antigonus set off in pursuit. In the year 319 BCE, with an army of 10,000 infantry, 2,000 cavalry, and 30 elephants, Antigonus caught Eumenes at Kinia in Cappadocia with an even larger army of 20,000 and 5,000 cavalry. But Antigonus moved fast against Eumenes' encampment, taking the high ground overlooking it and drawing up an unusually long line of phalanxes. He sent spies into the enemy encampment simultaneously, gaining and leveraging intelligence that Polynices, his cavalry officer, was unhappy serving under him and would have defected to Antigonus. The speed of assault, Eumenes' caution, and Polynices' defection into battle, Antigonus smashed his foe and seized control of his battleship. Eumenes escaped with a fraction of his army, the rest defected to bolster Antigonus' army further. During the rout, he passed by Antigonus' own supply chain without attacking it. We get a glimpse here of Antigonus' tactics and character. You see, Eumenes later sent messengers trying to convince Antigonus' officers that he could have crippled their logistics, but he didn't, out of respect for them. Plutarch records that Antigonus responded on the spot, "It wasn't his respect for you, friends, that he spared them, but out of fear that he couldn't flee with so much baggage." Secretary to Philip II was driven through Cappadocia to the border of Lycaonia, where he holed himself out in the fortress of Bora as Antigonus besieged him. Even now, defeat looming, and Antigonus sent in his nephew Ptolemaeus as an envoy. Eumenes demanded that he saturate his demand. Was the warlike Macedonians this earned him even more respect? When the crowds began to form around him to see his dead become evidence of around him, Antigonus himself entered the fortress and his troops being caught by attention. At last, he raised armies, staving off his guards, and said, "Let us leaving a force to keep Eumenes in Bora safely, he took the rest of his armies to continue solidifying his position in Asia. His next target, Perdiccas' brother Alcethas and his ally Attalus, possessed the largest fleet of ships in Asia. In an incredible campaign, Antigonus marched his troops against all odds nearly 300 miles in just 1 week from Bora to the city of Crittopolis. He was so fast that no enemy generals even noticed his passage. By the time he arrived, he also received word that Antipater had died of old age, and rather than his son Cassander, he named one of his generals Polyperchon regent in Macedonia. This too becomes significant. Taking advantage of the renewed political turmoil, he again pressed on against his next enemy, again choosing an unexpected strategy by taking forces across rugged terrain to attack Alcethus from high ground, and flanking him with his elephants to utterly crush his army. With a complete and utter rout of the enemy, Antigonus captured most enemy officers and subsumed the troops into his own. Alcethus escaped to Termessos, where he committed suicide after hearing a plot to betray him to Antigonus. Alcethus and Attalus were defeated, and with that, Antigonus had won 2 major battles in just 1 year, and could now boast a fleet, 60,000 infantry, 10,000 cavalry, and 30 elephants, wealthy enough to keep his men happy and hire mercenaries. And on top of all of this, Antipater had, on his deathbed, promoted Antigonus to supreme commander of Asia. Asias Stavros, not a humble man, Plutarch says he was full of arrogance. He then called on all of the Asian satraps, including Eumenes, still besieged swear fealty to him and support his bid for total imperial power.
Your command, Master.
Eumenes, however, was ever the crafty one. He told Antigonus's proxy commanders who were leading the siege in Aurelian's absence that he would swear fealty to Antigonus, but on the condition that he also ran the will to Alexander's imperials. Before Antigonus found out and tried to hold the activity reinstated, Eumenes had taken his army and escaped. At the same time, Cassandra and Attis, furious at not being made regent, escaped to Macedon and allied with Antigonus to consort their Cleitus had escaped from Lydia, and returning west he took control of Eumenes' fleet and defeated Cassander's admiral Nicanor at Byzantium. However, despite Cleitus now controlling over 100 warships, Antigonus, who had followed Cleitus, retaliated to this defeat unexpectedly swiftly, restoring the setback he'd suffered through his own wit and military ability. In a night attack, he sent ranged and light troops to the shore in Naus Huberetiae service ships and attacked all of Cleitus' troops camped on land. This routed them in chaos, and as they returned to their ships in a panic, Antigonus sent his own remaining warships on them and defeated the entire navy. Cleitus was killed, and Antigonus began to be military genius. With that, Cassander became a real threat to the provinces, and Antigonus went back east to consolidate his own region in Asia Minor and once again deal with the By now, Antigonus' army had grown massively. He was able to take 20,000 infantry and 4,000 cavalry from it to Cilicia, where Eumenes had originally been stationed. The latter had leveraged his own considerable diplomatic skill to amass a huge force of his own in the eastern provinces. And don't forget, he had the indomitable silver shields, said to be athletes of war, unconquered and Athletai polem, Antigonus and Eumenes went on to play a game of cat and mouse, switching back and forth around each other. There was Mesopotamia, Babylon, Susiana, until they met for the second time in life. Owing to the incredible display of strength and skill of silver shields, the gambler would surely have bet on Eumenes' forces to win. They were placed just to the right of his phalangists and inflicted devastating casualties on Antigonus. But the silver shields suffered from their own success. They pushed so far forward that they became isolated from the left flank, at which point Antigonus charged straight into the breach with his heavy cavalry, accompanied by his 20-year-old son Demetrius, and, getting behind the enemy lines, he wrought havoc on Eumenes' phalanx. Eumenes' troops scattered, running back to the baggage trains in disarray, while Antigonus got his own forces straight back into formation and claimed the battlefield. They would have fought here again, and lined up to do so the next day, but there's some amusing context here. Eumenes' eastern satraps had grown decadent in their wealth. They hadn't fought in a while, and after this battle, their morale rather dashed. Moreover, Eumenes himself had fallen ill, so he needed to be carried around the battlefield in a litter. Only where his litter was present would his forces be willing to fight. Antigonus noticed this, and he said to his commanders, "It would seem like this litter is what stands against us."
Your command, Master.
Proud words indeed, but Antigonus had lost far more men than Eumenes, so needed a valid With their respective armies, Antigonus and Eumenes met for a final fight. So when the war elephants charged first, he seized an unexpected opportunity. The dust clouds created by the mighty beasts were so tall and so thick that they completely obscured vision. Antigonus sent off a few units of light cavalry right round the flank, unnoticed, as the rest of the army engaged Eumenes' vanguard. This cavalry took Eumenes' entire baggage train: food, money, women, and children. As this was happening, Antigonus and Demetrius again led the heavy cavalry on the other flank, again unnoticed through the dust clouds, to smash into Eumenes' own cavalry, routing them almost immediately. By this time, it meant almost nothing that the Silver Shields were utterly dominating the center. Eumenes' flank was in shambles, and they were forced to break off and retreat. So the battle itself was actually no clear victory for either, but Antigonus had Eumenes' baggage train, and with that, effectively owned Eumenes' troops. It was the Silver Shields themselves that actually betrayed Eumenes, and they delivered him straight to Antigonus. They couldn't bear the thought that a foreigner, i.e. Eumenes, could deprive them of their rewards after a lifetime of service.
I was just 11 years old when I first stepped out of Vault 101. Nothing could have prepared me for the journey ahead. The world of Fallout, with its vast wastelands and unforgettable stories, became so much more than just a game to me. Over the years, this franchise has been my saving grace, a constant companion through the darkest chapters of my life. The heartbreak, the triumphs, the tough choices that shape your experience there. Not just elements of a game. They're a reflection of the human condition, a mirror held up to our own struggles, hopes, and resilience. Fallout doesn't just tell stories, it helps us confront our own. And today, I want to take you on a journey through the impact it's had on me and the lessons it holds for all of us. Fallout isn't just a game to me, it's a journey, a reflection, and a world that feels more real than anything I could have imagined stepping out of Vault 101 at 11 years old. It's not just about the post-apocalyptic landscape, the iconic Vault Boy, or even the terrifying Rad Scorpions. Fallout resonates deeply because it captures the human condition, our choices, our triumphs, and our failures, all in ways that no other game ever really has. Every time I boot it up, I find a little piece of myself in the wasteland. Fallout's storytelling, though, has always been its greatest weapon. It's not just about the grand narratives, it's the personal, smaller stories that hit the hardest. The quests and choices you make feel like they matter because they hold a mirror to life's complexity. Take Chaos in Zion and Fallout New Vegas. With a sneering Imperial you can be unrelenting It's wild to see just how far you can push the boundaries of mortality and the Fallout universe. And while I wouldn't choose to be a the game gives you the freedom to explore paths you'd never take otherwise. Or take the last voyage of the USS Constitution from Fallout 4, where Captain Ironsides, the robotic protector of a pre-war vessel, provides one of my favorite lines of dialogue. During the quest, he says, "There's something so hilariously absurd yet oddly touching about a robot who has forgotten the sense of hatred, firing cannons, all the vision of stars. Unexpected moments that all let's come fly with me and follow my notes. Quests combine the essence of player choices like this one. Do you kill off and say hello? Do you help them and also then deal with or do you help players and instead of killing them and force them to leave? Every option is different matters, and every decision is more than who you are as a player. Freedom of choice is all of New Vegas never ceases to amaze with how many paths it lays before you. Of course, absurdity has in New Vegas? How can I not mention that? The very idea of cannibalistic upper-class elites secretly running a society within the Ultralux is both horrifying and darkly hilarious. But beneath the absurdity lies a moral dilemma. What kind of person are you in this world? Do you expose them? Do you join them? Or let their secret die with you? It's the kind of storytelling that makes you watching and things long I would pinpoint my favorite and one quest line that left the deepest impact on me, it has to be Dead Money, the Fallout New Vegas DLC. I know, it's infamous for its difficulty. The story is unforgettable. The Sierra Madre Casino, with haunting and beautiful and it's not tragic betrayal and heartbreak. Forces you to confront their choices. And let's be honest, guys, no one really lets go of the whole bars at the end. But beyond the riches, the theme of letting go stuck with me. Letting go of greed, pain, and the past. When I lost my dad, who was incredibly close, falls on and on, I turned to Dead Money and Fallout. It wasn't my first time playing it, but after my father passed, I replayed it for what must have been like the 4th or 5th time, and it just kind of hit me differently. The heartbreak, the deception, and the lingering weight of forgiveness in the DLC mirrored everything I was kind of going through with other things also in my life. Fallout helped me process those emotions in a way I didn't really fully understand at the time. It wasn't just a game for me, honestly, it was kind of like therapy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Many of you guys, and many fans, swear by Old World Blues, and I absolutely love its humor and its brilliance too, but for me it's the personal experience of Dead Money that sets it apart. The love, the heartbreak, and the bittersweet themes of forgiveness speak to me on a level that no other story in Fallout, or really any other game, ever has. Fallout doesn't just tell stories. It connects with the pieces of ourselves we sometimes try to bury. In the Wasteland, I found healing, growth, and a way to move forward. That's why I love Fallout. It's not just a game, it's part of my journey. Fallout is more than a game, guys. It's a mirror held up to humanity, our choices, our flaws, and our resilience. Whether you're stepping out of Vault 101 for the first time, wandering the Mojave under the unforgiving sun, or scouring the ruins of Boston, Fallout doesn't just entertain. It forces you to confront the complexities of life, mortality, and the human condition. What makes Fallout special is its ability to take the absurd, the tragic, and the beautiful and weave them into experiences that make you feel something real. One of the most striking aspects of Fallout is unflinching look at human nature. The series strips away the comforts of modern life, leaving only survival, ambition, and desperation. And yet, it's in this broken world that Fallout reveals humanity at its rawest and most honest. You meet people who've lost everything and still find reasons to fight. You see factions trying to rebuild society, each with their own flawed vision for a better future. You encounter individuals clinging to hope, even when hope seems impossible. Take for example, the Brotherhood of Steel. Their obsession with hoarding technology at all costs can come across as selfish, even cruel. But dig deeper, and you realize they're not just about greed or power, they're driven by fear. Fear of humanity repeating the mistakes of the past. It's a fear we can all relate to. The fear of losing what matters most. The fear of history repeating itself. Fallout doesn't ask you to agree with the Brotherhood, but it forces you to understand them. And in understanding, you find empathy. Or look at the ghouls. Human beings twisted by radiation. Their bodies decayed, but their minds intact. Ghouls are a walking tragedy, a reminder of what it means to lose everything that once made you feel human. Yet, some ghouls, like Raoul in New Vegas, or Hancock in Fallout 4, rise above their suffering and become sources of wisdom, humor, and hope. Their stories are a testament to resilience, to finding purpose even when life has stripped you of everything else. They remind us that no matter how broken we feel, we're still capable of making an impact, of choosing who we want to be. And then, there's Come Fly With Me in Fallout New Vegas. Helping the ghouls launch their spaceship might seem absurd at first, but it's a story about faith, dreams, and redemption. Whether you help them achieve their goal, or bring their misguided mission to an end, the quest forces you to grapple with what it means to believe in something greater than yourself, even when the world tells you it's foolish. Fallout also excels at capturing the weight of choices. Every decision feels heavy, because it's not just about right or wrong, it's about perspective. In Fallout, you rarely find purely good or evil paths. Instead, you're forced to navigate shades of gray, and your choices often come with unintended consequences. For example, siding with the NCR in New Vegas might seem noble. They're trying to restore order after all. But then you see the cracks in their bureaucracy, the corruption that seeps into their ranks, and the people they trample in their pursuit of power. Are they truly the good guys, or just another imperfect system trying to impose its will on the world? This moral ambiguity is what makes Fallout so powerful. It doesn't tell you how to think or what to believe. It lets you decide for yourself. It respects your intelligence and trusts you to wrestle with the complexities of the world it presents. And in doing so, it makes you more empathetic, more thoughtful, and more aware of the choices you make in your own life. But beyond the choices and the moral dilemmas, Fallout resonates on a deeply emotional level. It's the moments of quiet humanity that hit the hardest. Think of Boone from New Vegas, a man haunted by the loss of his wife, consumed by guilt and revenge. His story isn't just a side quest, it's a reflection of grief, of the ways trauma can shape us. Or, now guys, think of Nick Valentine in Fallout 4, a synth with the memories of a human detective. He's a character who embodies a question of identity. Are we defined by our past, our actions, or something deeper? Fallout doesn't just give you characters, it gives you people. People who struggle, fail, and try again. People who remind you of yourself, or someone you've known, or someone you might become. And through them, the game teaches you to see the world differently, to find beauty in the broken, and to understand that even in the darkest times, there's always a reason to keep going. And then there's the wasteland itself, a character in its own right. The desolation of Fallout, but it's also breathtakingly beautiful. The crumbling ruins of the old world are a reminder of what was lost, but they're also a canvas for what can be rebuilt. The endless expanse of the Mojave Desert, the eerie glow of the glowing sea, the quiet streets of Good Neighbor, each location tells a story, not just of destruction, but of resilience, of people finding ways to survive and thrive in the face of unimaginable hardship. This is what Fallout is ultimately about. Survival. Not just in a physical sense, but in an emotional one. It's about holding on to hope, even when everything seems hopeless. It's about finding meaning in a world that's fallen apart. It's about making choices, facing consequences, and learning to live with them. Fallout isn't just a game you play, it's a game you feel. It's a game that stays with you long after you've put the controller down. Its stories and characters linger in your mind like echoes of the wasteland. That's why everyone should love Fallout, because it is tales of heartbreak and triumph,
Looks like someone went over the limit.
despair and hope. It captures or we might be. There's always a reason to keep going. Always something to be fighting for. Always a light in the darkness. Fallout isn't just about scavenging bottle caps and dodging death claws. It's a franchise brimming with lessons that speak to the heart of the human experience. Beneath the post-apocalyptic chaos lies a treasure trove of wisdom, offering players a chance to reflect on how to live, thrive, and endure. Fallout doesn't preach, but it shows. It lets its world and characters reveal hard truths and subtle insights. giving players the freedom to draw their own conclusions. One of the most profound lessons Fallout imparts is the power of resilience, from Vault Dwellers to Wasteland Wanderers. Every survivor in the Fallout universe is proof that the human spirit can endure even the harshest conditions. The Wasteland is unforgiving, but it's also a place of possibility. It challenges you to adapt, to push forward when the odds are stacked against you. The choices you make often mirror the real struggles of perseverance. Do you hoard supplies for yourself, or share them with those in need? Do you rebuild, or leave the ruins to crumble? Fallout teaches us that survival is more than a physical act. It's an act of willpower, of determination to rise above despair. And yet, Fallout isn't just about survival. It's about growth. The franchise thrives on moments of personal transformation, both for its characters and its players. Consider the karma system in earlier games. It's not a rigid mortality.
Oh, that's... yeah. That's kinda dark side.
This video is sponsored by World Anvil.
Why? Okay, I think in about 2 hours' time, some things are going to be a lot clearer.
Yeah,
Because,
everyone keeps saying, Qui-Gon, you gotta watch Attack of the Clones. You're gonna be so shocked. I'm very difficult to surprise.
Well, oh, 1 second.
Obi-Wan,
What?
I can't eat that. That's meat person food.
That's why I got half and half.
Oh, legend. Wait, is it gluten-free?
Oh,
No, I'm just you.
oh, or, cool, you got me.